understand why you feel like, oh, but what if I get bulky? Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I am a Pilates instructor, nutrition and fitness coach who is very passionate about helping women reach their goals in a healthy and sustainable way. And today's topic is going to be about a very widely used term, and that is toning. So I'm sure you have heard of the term toning and you've tried to tone before, and I have seen a lot of mistakes that women who are looking to tone make, and honestly just end up making it more difficult for themselves and difficult to stay consistent and to actually reach their goals. So I am going to be giving you some tips and some actual realistic habits and things you can do to feel toned. So first, I want to explain what the term toned means. To get to the core of it, basically toning is building muscle, losing fat. The two of them work together to give you a toned body. I'm going to explain to you some of the toning mistakes I've seen women make. The first mistake I see women make when it comes to toning is being afraid of building muscle. And we've got this idea that having muscle is going to make you look bulky. So therefore, we leave it out. We go into cardio, hit like 7 times a week and still see no progress and wonder why. Let me first tell you, I understand why you feel like, oh, but what if I get bulky? Because we have this idea in our head that strength training, muscle building is like this bodybuilding, like bodybuilder body that you're gonna have, but that is not the case. Bodybuilders have really like very intense schedules and like foods they need to eat, like so much protein, so much progressive overloading. Not the kind that we are looking at, but progressive overloading as in like 100 kgs, more than that. We're never gonna lift that much. Okay, so that is why you can become bulky. It does happen if that is what you're training for, which is a very different type of training. So muscle is not something to be afraid of. It actually helps you get shape. So it helps you get that nice defined lines, nice, strong and tight look that comes from strength training. And research shows that we actually only need 4 sets per muscle group per week to actually build and grow muscle. So really not that intense, not that much. It's very simple, a lot more simple than you probably think. Research shows that 4 sets per muscle group to failure. What does training to failure or almost failure mean? You could either be doing to absolute failure, which I don't recommend because you want to still leave room for recovery in your body. You don't want to overstrain the body. Best way to look at it is while you're doing an exercise, let's take a squat for example. You go down, you come up, and you're like, max is another 1 or 2 that I can actually do with good form, with this form. If you are there, if you're like, okay, after 2, I'm gonna like not be able to do this anymore, like I'm done, then you know, okay, that's where we stop. That is more than sufficient for actual muscle growth. So that is what we want to train towards. What does this training actually look like? This obviously depends on you, your body, where you're at, but normally I would suggest that you do 2 to 3 strength training sessions a week, 2 to 3 Pilates sessions a week, okay? So you want to have a nice, good balance between the two. Strength training for muscle growth, it's so important. Another very important thing to mention is that muscles absorb glucose. So that is the carbs, the sugar you eat. So it is actually amazing how the two of them work together. So muscle helps you work with and absorb insulin, and that glucose actually supports the muscle. So the two work hand in hand. Strength training, good for muscle, which gives you that toned effect, that toned look, and good for glucose absorption. Okay, then we want to add in something like Pilates as well. So good for getting that length in the body, so it really tones those little muscles. So two of them also work hand in hand. Okay, and with that said, let's move on to the next mistake, which is fat loss. So this is not totally a mistake, but more of a how you do the fat loss. So that's what women tend to get wrong. First thing, calorie deficit. And I say this with caution because there is also too much, like you can overdo the calorie deficit, but only for 3 months tops, okay? Then you go back to maintenance because you do not want your metabolism to adapt to less calories, okay? You use it as an initial tool for fat loss, but you don't keep doing it. Another really great tip for fat loss is walking. How I see walking is basically like bonus calories, because what happens with walking is it literally like burns calories without making you feel hungrier. It's just like a nice thing to do as well to like enhance your fat loss, because it's really great. Walking in itself has so many benefits for your heart, for all that. But since we're talking about toning and fat loss and all of that specifically today, walking has been shown to really aid in fat loss, and especially if you do it in your zone 2. What is zone 2? Zone 2, think about it as you being able to hold a conversation, but you wouldn't be able to sing. Also, walking so good for blood circulation, good for stress management, helping you keep your cortisol levels low, and just in general, so good for the health. Then, mistake 3, your actual diet. What I mean by this is women tend to think, okay, I am trying to lose some fat, I'm trying to tone up, let me cut out this, and this. Let me explain to you why that is a very bad idea. Protein, buzzword of like the last 2 years, I would say, but actually there is reason behind it. Protein is like king of satiety, okay? It keeps you full, it protects your muscles so that when you're actually busy losing fat, you're not losing muscle with that. And don't try to overcomplicate it. It is found in a lot of like simple things, okay? Can of tuna that has like 20 grams of protein in a can. Have that with some rice, some avocado. I mean, that's like everything you need. That's protein, fiber, healthy fats, and carbs in one meal. So easy, and that would take you like what, 5 minutes? So many easy protein options. You've got cottage cheese, which I'm sure you also have heard a lot about. Cheese, tuna, Greek yogurt, there's so many options, okay? So think of building your plate with protein. If you want it in numbers, think of like 20 to 30 grams per meal. That's like a nice target to have. Next one, so important, is fiber. Fiber is just important for so many aspects of health, but specifically for fat loss, it is important because it keeps you full. Just be mindful if you are increasing the fiber that you do it very slowly, because it can make you feel bloated. That's normal if you increase it too quickly. Next one is healthy fats. And I feel like everyone is so scared of healthy fats, but let me tell you, it also keeps you full. It makes food more tasty. It's gonna make you feel more satisfied, and it supports, for us women, our hormones. So I mean, it's just like a 3-in-1. Why would you not want to do that? It actually has been shown that healthy fats help in fat loss. So keep that in mind. Research shows. You can go check. Like, actually. Next one, and I feel like everyone is so scared of this, it's carbs. Carbs are not your enemy. They are literally like so good for you. They support your brain. It's literally our body's preferred source of fuel. Have you ever heard of the term skinny fat? Okay, so that is kind of that effect of like you feel like you look skinny, but like you just feel like you're not tight, if that makes sense. A lot of the times it is from women being scared of carbs, okay? Carbs actually make your body look tighter. It fills your muscles because your muscles feed on carbs. So that's where that connection comes. We go back to the glucose absorption, okay, in the muscle. It actually helps you look tighter. It gives you energy for your workouts, so it literally fuels your workouts, so you're not feeling so sluggish and tired and annoyed and irritated because your body needs carbs. Easy way also to think of carbs is to try and eat a lot of fiber-rich carbs. So what do I mean with that? This looks like sweet potatoes, beans, oatmeal. All of those are fiber-rich carbs, which if you just want to make your life a little bit easier, you don't want to think, okay, my gosh, do I have fiber, carbs, protein, fat? You can try and combine some of the elements to just make it easier. But I am not saying that white rice or white bread is bad. I'm just saying great to try and do that as well if you are looking for an easy, just like few ingredient type of dish or recipe you can combine. But also perfectly fine if you are doing white rice with like nice roasted chicken, and you can add some avo to that. I really love avo, and you can add some broccoli, you know, also do it like that. That is it for the dietary part of it. Next big mistake I see women make is all or nothing mindset. What this looks like is you've had something that you consider being the wrong way to start your day, whatever that might be. Let's say you have that and you're like, oh my gosh, I had this for breakfast, so I've basically ruined my whole day, so now I can just go and just eat like everything and not care about walking today because I've just had a bad day. No, this is not the mindset you want. We want to still enjoy ourselves, okay? We still want to eat things that make you happy. You want to stay sane. Don't obsess over it, okay? So, if you decide to treat yourself to a decadent chocolate cake once a week, go for it, okay? It's not about all or nothing, because then what is going to happen is you're going to be able to stick to this super strict plan for like 2 weeks tops. Then you're going to go all like crazy and just like give in, stop exercising because like you've burned your body out, you've like deprived yourself of everything that you enjoy, and then you're just gonna go into that cycle, like go all out, then just like nothing, and then you just keep with that cycle. So we don't want that. We want to actually still give ourselves something nice. Say, you know what, I am on holiday for this week. I'm just gonna take it slow. I'm just gonna go for my daily walks, but I'm gonna wait with the workout. That's okay. It's not a crazy thing to say. This is how we stay. The final point I want to make: consistency. Women don't stay consistent because they think in that all or nothing mindset. So, consistency is key. You want to build your fitness routine, your diet around consistency, something that you can keep doing, okay? So let's say you hate walking, okay? It's just not your vibe. Then why would you do that every day? You wouldn't. So zone 2 can look like dancing. Go and dance with it. Or there's so many like options. Like there's so many cardio options. You can go ride a bike, okay? You do something that you will be able to stick to. Consistency is something you can actually stick with in the long term, forever. That's the habits you want to build. Think, okay, one day when I'm 90, am I still gonna want to be doing this? If your answer is like, oh my gosh, no, then change it. If you hate squats, don't do them. You don't need to do squats if you hate them. There are so many other options. You can do bridges, okay? You can do Romanian deadlifts. There's a lot of other options. There's always another option. Don't deprive yourself of joy and having fun. Make your fitness and diet and everything something that you look forward to, okay? Make it fun, enjoy it, because that is the only way you'll be able to stay consistent and do it in the long term. So those are the top 5 mistakes that I hope I've given you some clarity about now. If you have any questions or anything that you would like to share, some tips that you can maybe think of, some mistakes that you've seen, feel free to leave it in the comments. And be sure to like and subscribe to this video if you want to see more of this content.